Hey guys, this might feel a little rushed because this is the third time I'm recording this video, but let's dive right into it. This is a 2x1, just a standard 2x1 with honeycomb around it. See this design fairly often. The problem with 2x1s are there's not that much storage and they're really not that secure, but this one is designed with a lot of secrets about it. It's also intentionally metal. By making it metal, we're controlling the raid path. So if you're going to raid this base, if you're going to offline people like, that y'all know that happens 95% of the time in Rust, you're going to go through the doors. So we come in here, the raiders are going to come through here and see the furnaces. We've got some extra storage here from the drop boxes. By the way, if you place them from the outside, the big part goes on the outside. You see how they're low profile in here and lets you walk by easy? You do that by placing them from the outside. And then we come in here to the first main area. This protected by a garage door, but it has the recessed floors. So there's 4 large boxes of storage in here, along with the drop box storage also. And you come in here and same, another recessed floor, 4 large boxes of storage. The TC is actually behind the workbench right here. And we even have extra storage for your diving junk and all of the stuff that you want to keep. You know you're not going to use it, but you want to keep it anyway, you put it up here. And we can use these spaces, like the top, because we know they're not going to raid a 2x1 from the top down. Because what if the roof is armored on the inside? You know, then they're going to be in real trouble. They're absolutely not going to raid this base from the top, so we might as well use the storage space. Now, as you were watching me give a tour of this really small base, did you see the 4 pixel gaps in it? I want to be honest, did you see the 4 pixel gaps? Well, they're here. So I'm going to show you the first 2. It's actually, you use this space here to go down and access them. So whenever you're playing, whenever you're online, you keep a smart alarm down here and you can jump down here and access the first pixel gap, which is the locker and furnace that fits into a triangle. Something that y'all may not know, I learned this from Stelic's awesome channel, is you can actually put stuff in the furnaces if you do it like this. If you put it in there from the splitting screen. So you know, if you do it like that, if you use hover loot, it doesn't work. If you drag it from here, it doesn't work. But if you put like 999 or whatever, and you split it and put it in there, it lets you put them in there. So you can actually store, you know, 5,000 resources in a furnace through a pixel gap. And then same thing with the locker. So something that I didn't know about lockers until I've literally had over 10,000 hours in Rust before I knew this, is you can actually fill this entire clothing section with hazmat suits. I know, cringe that I didn't know that. Maybe y'all don't know that either, or maybe one person at least doesn't know that, but you can actually put multiple pieces of multiple one size fits all, hazmat, ninja suit, the one pieces. You can put them just stack them up there. Then you can put your C4 and your rockets and stuff in here also. But there's 2 of them. There's one there. There's a triangle here, pixel gap, and then there's one there also. And then if you go into the other room, same thing. We're going to put a smart alarm down. And we have an Uber loot bunker here. It's a large box, and there's actually a small box here as well. And the larger, I think it's important to use the boxes and not the barrels. I haven't got it to work yet, but I'm almost positive you can actually fit 2 of these in here, sitting on this low wall. But the problem is, if the bad guys find out about the pixel gap, they can loot it, because you can't put locks on the barrel. So I do like having boxes in here because you can lock them. And then over here we also have the locker and another furnace. So you could fit quite a bit of secret storage in this 2x1 for how big it is and for how low the upkeep is. I know that some people are going to wonder, why not put the TC in one of those? That'll make it extra secure, and yes, that's true, that will make it extra secure. However, if the bad guys are raiding your base and they get through all the doors and the TC isn't anywhere, they're going to be like, oh, it's hidden in the honeycomb. And then they're going to start blowing up your entire base trying to find the TC, and you don't want that. You want them to get in and out, take all your crappy loot, and miss all of the stuff that you have stowed away in the pixel gaps. So that does mean that in order to get your loot back, in the base back, you're going to need an external TC. So make sure to build an external TC like a mini Satori or something like that. So now I'm going to show you how to build this base. It's actually easy. So the concept of it, making the pixel gap is easy, but it takes some work to get the layout right and everything. One of the keys to it is I've never seen someone incorporate a pixel gap with the half walls at the bottom turned around like this. And what it does is it gives the impression that those are foundations. They look like, because a lot of the times whenever people build bases with recessed loot rooms, there's foundations around the edge. But those aren't foundations, but they look like it. So it's even more of a reason for the raiders to not go exploring and not think that there's any pixel gaps in here. And that's the true power of pixel gaps, honestly. It's whenever the raiders don't know that they're there. If they know the pixel gap is there, it's essentially the same as having drop boxes that you use to move loot in and out of a bunker. It's the same thing. It's just you don't have to use drop boxes, and that's that. So really, the strength of pixel gaps comes from whenever they don't know that they're there. And if you take this up whenever you log off and put this back down, make sure to leave all these chests unlocked. Don't put locks on them, because then the bad guys are going to come down here and blow up the boxes and be within viewing distance of the pixel gap. You don't want that. Just leave them unlocked. So that's the true power of it. So how do you build it? Game Lights put out an awesome video about the easiest way to make a pixel gap, which in 2024 we've got it down to a science. It is hilariously easy. And it's because of this weird thing that happens whenever you jump on twig. So first put down 2 squares, jump on it. Yes, you have to jump on it. And then jump again. Yes, you have to jump again. Now you want to put down a twig triangle. Move over to the left. And then go back. And whenever the blue stops, put another triangle down. You want it. If you try to put a triangle in the middle and it's blue, you're in good shape. So put a half wall here and 2 triangles, and then put one up top first and then one on the bottom, and you can see that we do have the pixel gap. Something else I want y'all to do is to come around here, make sure you can put a wall here. In some cases it doesn't let you put a wall here, and that's because I'd say 1 out of 20 times, and honestly, the reason I've recorded this video 3 times now is because it happened twice in a row for me, which is unusual. I built this base like 15 times before and it never happened, but of course I'm recording, and of course it does it. So make sure that these walls are blue whenever you try to put them down. Now, from here, the way I do pixel gap base is a little bit different than how some other builders you've seen do it. I like having the foundations all the same height. So right now, this foundation is not the same height as this one. So if you want to move the pixel gap to different areas of your base, you have to like get tricky with the foundations and everything, and like some of the foundations are one height, some of the foundations are not. That's really confusing to me. I know it's not for other people, but it is for me. I think it's simpler to just remove this and leave the triangle, this triangle. This triangle is the pixel gap. It's what allows us to create a pixel gap anywhere in the base. So now we come around and we build the base with, build the layout of the base. And now we're going to put half walls all the way around. And now we're going to go all the way around and do full walls. And the entryway is here. Put a couple of half walls down here so you can create the airlock. By the way, as I'm building this, obviously this is a little bit of a complicated base to build on wipe day as you're being attacked by everybody on the server. My recommendation, I'll do this every wipe in Rust, every single wipe, build H-June's 2x1 first. So it was his 2x1 is just a stone 2x1 with an airlock And I honestly believe that everybody that plays Rust should build that base on wipe day in the first hour. That's just get yourself somewhere where you can start storing materials. That's the #1 goal. Just get something up that you can store materials in, and the 2x1, the HG's 2x1 is perfect. I'll put a link to it in the description below. But then after you have enough, 10,000 wood, enough stone to build the shell of this, then you come out and nearby, like right outside of building radius, you build your actual starter base. Taking your time, making sure you get the pixel gap right, etc., etc. So now we've got the shell done. We're gonna secure it so bad guys don't walk in and troll us. Now we need to move this pixel gap around the base, and yes, it's possible to move a pixel gap around your base. I made a video of it a few months ago. It got like 15,000 views or something and did very well. You can move this pixel gap around by making sure you're attaching to this triangle. Remember, this triangle controls the pixel gap in your whole base. So whenever I'm connecting here, I'm going to connect this triangle to this one. Don't connect it off of this half wall here. If you connect it here or here, it's not going to work. Make sure you're connecting it off of this one. So I'm looking there, looking towards the center again, the center of these two triangles, and whenever it does that, I know that it's the right height. And you want to look and see, you can see these are the same height. It'll be obvious if they connected to the wrong piece. And then I'm going to take this down momentarily. I don't have to, but just for the sake of the video, just to make it easy and make sure I'm connecting to this one. You want to connect it just like that, and then same thing on this one. Go as far back as you can and inch forward until it's blue and place that. And now to make the last one, we're going to connect here, and then same thing. We want to inch forward until it's blue. Place it. Now you can get rid of these, and we can put you have to do it in this order. This isn't just Benjamin being weird. You have to do it like this. So put the wall here, 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 and here. And now you can remove the twig, like so. And now whenever we put our low walls down, we have a pixel gap anywhere we want in the base. Look at that. Look at that. Pixel gaps everywhere. Here and here. So I filled these in just to show you, how powerful this is, but you're going to want to put you have to fill it in first. You have to put the stuff in there first. So let's put our lockers in first, because they're the trickiest to place. Oops, don't want to delete the video. The pro tip for Benjamin, don't actually remove the foundation there. So put a locker there, furnace there, and we're actually going to put a wall right here. Put a full wall and then a half wall. Now we're going to do the same thing with our locker here. Make sure to rotate it 4 times like that. No, you don't have to do that. So put it here. Come on, Mr. Locker, do your thing. Let's do it from this side. Why are you being annoying? Everyone hates you right now. Take that down. What is this called? Oh, it's the half wall. Okay, so do it in this order. So put the full wall down, but don't put the half wall down yet, because the locker doesn't like that for some reason. Well, it actually doesn't like either one of them. Of course, it didn't do this whenever I built it the first time, and y'all clearly know that these things fit in there. I don't know why it's being like this, but fiddle with it until you get it. No big deal. Come around, put a furnace in. And then this one is so I personally haven't... I discovered this trick for the pixel gaps on my own maybe a year and a half ago, roughly. At least to my knowledge, I was one of the first builders that discovered this. It allows you to put boxes in here on top of them, which allows you to access them through the pixel gap. So we want to put a large box in here, and it can be a little tricky to place, but basically look in the very center of this piece here. You see the center? look in the very center of it whenever you're placing the large box and rotate it around until it wiggles into place. And you want to leave enough room for the small box too. So the small box is going to go over here. So I'm going to put the large box down. Let's try. That looks pretty good. You want it, generally speaking, you want it to be parallel with this wall here. So this box should be parallel with this wall. And then we're going to put the small box down too. Just like that. Yes. And now we can close it in. And verify that the pixel gap still works. Yes, they do. And remember, we're going to keep these rotated so they look like foundations. And then good old, I'm not going to make y'all sit through me putting another, put the locker in the furnace in there also. Okay, and you can see we have 4 pixel gaps now. Now this one, this isn't a pixel gap, it's just a half wall, so just put half wall there, same thing here. And we want another half wall there. And you put one triangle here, and then you can fill that in. The TC goes back here. And then you can put your tier 3, which I'm sure all of you will have on wipe day, right? Am I right? No. Okay, if you're playing with friends, and but if you're playing like one or solo or duo, who am I to say? You're probably better at wrestling. Maybe you will have a tier 3 on wipe day. I like putting double doors here because that way we can use garage doors. And everyone loves garage doors, personally knows because they're amazing. And then we can put the ladder hatch up here. And fill that up with juicy storage. And you can put the boxes in any layout you want on here, it doesn't matter. The only thing that really matters is that you leave room for the smart alarm right here. So this way you can come down here and loot into the pixel gaps through the because I was like, why wasn't there anything, why can't I reach the pixel gap? It's because there's nothing back there. The smart alarm is the perfect height. It's possible to do it with small boxes also. If you take a small box and you put it at like an angle like this, and then you kind of slide along the edge of it until you get the right height, you can do that. But smart alarm, if you can get one, is way easier. Just make sure to take this smart alarm up whenever you log off for the day. Because the smart alarm is, people are going to be like, well, why is that there? Wasn't there a box there? And then they're going to get curious. We don't want them to get curious. There's enough room for some sleeping bags in here. Also, I'm not going to put the rest of the deployables in here, guys, because I know that you're smart enough to figure that out. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'm so close to 5,000 subscribers. It would mean a lot to me. It would really, truly mean a lot to me if you help me get to 5K in 2024. But I really appreciate everyone's time today. Subscribe. Making these videos is kind of stressful sometimes because I don't edit them, so I have to do it in one take. This is one take video. I better not say anything weird. Better not. I'm so glad the pixel gap worked this time, so I don't have to record it for the 4th time. Thanks for subscribing, everyone. See y'all later.